I don't touch you.
Boy, go away here. Go away home. Okay, don't follow me.
You scam, pickpocket, scam.
I don't care who you are, you don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong here.
Don't open up, it's ice!
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children in here at this building, but there's no one here. This is a child daycare center.
Says 99 children. Paid $1.9 million this year in CCAP funding. Do you know where the children are? Were they kidnapped? They run away? Where are the children? This is state of Minnesota. Right here.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
And who are you with?
Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
Oh, he's just been doing some research investigating the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with Nick Shirley.
This lady, she's calling us ICE. We're just trying to put law and order back in the streets of the United States. Get rid of all the fraud.
Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Yes, so as always, every single video that I make is for commentary purposes and it's not to cause any harassment or harm to any particular community. And today we are going to be talking about the Somali empty daycare explosion. And tonight questions are being raised after a footage showing empty Somali-owned daycare centers began circulating online. The images have sparked public debate, community concerns, and calls for closure, review of childcare oversight. And so many videos have been recorded during regular operating hours showing that the classrooms with unused desks, and then we have the chairs and play areas, in some cases with no children even present. So supporters of the reporting say the footages raises legitimate questions about enrollment, reporting, and use of childcare assistance funds. So they argue that transparency and accountability are essential when taxpayer dollar is involved. So, however, reactions within the Somali community has been divided. Some leaders and parents say the coverage risks unfairly targeting Somali-owned businesses and could fuel harmful stereotypes. Others says that the issue should be addressed openly and factually without singling out any one group. So, local agencies responsible for child care, licensing and funding say they are aware of the concern. Official notes that daycare attendance can fluctuate due to staffing shortages, seasonal enrollment changes, or temporary closures. So at the same time, they acknowledge that facilities found operating inconsistently with reported recons may warrant further review. And also, experts emphasize that oversight rules apply to childcare providers equally, regardless of ownerships or background. Any investigation, they say, must rely on audits, attendance logs, and inspections, not social media footages alone. So, as of now, no official findings have been released. Authorities say the next steps will follow established review procedures. So, as per now, we'll continue to follow this story and bring updates as more information becomes available. But I have several footages that shows the Nikki Shari YouTuber exposing these particular daycares, and the reaction of the Somalis is wanting and speaks volume even before the research is really done, because some of the footages shows no signs of kids and no signs of any parent, nothing, just empty rooms. So watch the video, guys, and tell me what you think on the comment section.
So this is Quality Learning Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center. We've arrived to ABC Learning Center. All the windows are blacked out. I would like to check a child in a daycare.
Why?
Can I speak to a manager? I would like to see if I could bring little Joey, my son little Joey here. Is there paperwork, or can I check out the daycare?
You got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going.
Wow. You're right.
So
that
good.
was the old good journalism. By the way, Fox Digital reached out to that learning center to try and, get a statement from them. And apparently the number doesn't even work. So we did not get a response there.
Well, and we're talking too, some of these different places where you visited and collectively received millions and millions in state funds. And, I watched the 42 minutes and good for Nick Shirley. And he also was accompanied, I'm forgetting the gentleman's name who was with him, who's done so much research in this as well. The man you can see right there with the papers, who's done just as a citizen, a concerned citizen, flagging this, realizing that there's big issues. So it kind of raises a question too. If concerned citizens were flagging this years ago, and then, it just, why is...
Like I said,
confirm for us the $4 million figure. We've been hearing that a lot. Is that...
Don't know where that came from. I have no idea where that came from.
$4 million.
That's a completely false claim. We don't make that much with the amount of children we have.
How much money are you receiving money from the state, or how does the funding work here for you all?
Yeah, I don't think people understand.
This is an interview with Ibrahim Ali, the son of the owners of the Quality Learning or Learning Center here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He spoke at length about everything related to the daycare, the allegations, etc. Other than about 1 minute and 30 seconds, the entire video is uncut. I trimmed anything that was just filler stuff or questions that were being asked in the background as an effort to save time and to be able to fit the entire video on TikTok.
As Minnesota, as Somalis, as people that own this business for 8 years now, we do nothing but to uplift the community, uplift our children, uplift one another, uplift non-Somalis, uplift Somalis, to make a better community for all of us. So if somebody comes in and says, hey, they're not doing it, it's just like if he would have came during operational hours and there's no one here, okay, you've got a point. He came, I think it was 11 a.m. Obviously, there's no cars in the parking lot. If you look around, there's cars now. Yeah, because our employees are here, our children are here, our clients are here. But don't come at 10 a.m. and go like, hey, their door's not open. Obviously, our door's not going to be open at 10 a.m. We're not open 10 a.m. The sign on the door says that. Opening a daycare license is not easy whatsoever. I see a lot of people pointing fingers at DHS. DHS does a good job to the point that if you ask most daycare owners, Somali or not Somali, it's a really strenuous process. You have to admit paperwork. You have to submit paperwork daily. You have to do a monthly. You have to do a yearly. They have to make sure kids are coming. They have to make sure parents are busy with work or school per se. If the parents are not occupied, we don't get paid. So for example, you bring your children to me. While we're open, if you're at home, we don't get paid for those children. Those children can't come to us. We can decide as a daycare, hey, out of just to do a favor for the parent, we'll bring the parents. But those kids, we're not gonna get paid for it. The day their parents stop working or stop going to school, we don't get paid for it. So it's not like, hey, just enroll yourself in daycare. It's not that easy. The parents themselves, yearly, there's a redetermination form, how much they make, where they live, the house income, the size of the house. They have to fill all those out. What kind of income they make, both parents, how much they make. If they make over a certain threshold, the government does not pay for them. So it's not like the government is paying for people that have their pockets full. It's people that can't afford it and are working and are going to school. So the government and DHS make sure that person is not able to take care of their children. That's the only time they can bring it to our daycare or any daycare. If the parent is at home, we're not getting paid.
What do you say to people who say this is all for show, all the cars in the parking lot, the kids being dropped off now, it's only a response to that video?
We spoke about this earlier. You guys can come tomorrow. You guys can come on Thursday. You guys come back Monday. If there's not this many cars, let me know. There'll be this many cars. There'll be children going in and out because that's what a daycare center is. There's employees. There's food that we have to serve them. We have to serve them lunch, 2 snacks, and dinner. For 60 plus kids, that bill is not small. That bill is not small. We pay the teachers, obviously. We have to pay the teachers a good wage, standard, if not more. When they're with us for a certain time, we have to increase their pay. We have to make sure the toys are up to date. We have to make sure even the electronics they use inside the building is up to date. So it's not like the money comes and it's in our pockets. It's hardworking people that are here. It's hardworking parents. It's hardworking employees. It's hardworking owners that make all this happen. It's not 1 or 2 people that make this happen.
What would you say to Nick Shirley, the YouTuber, if he was standing in front of you?
I have
right
nothing
now?
against him himself, but I do have something against the rhetoric. It's if you're gonna be a journalist, just have a moral compass. Like, do what you do correctly. If you catch business that are fraud, no one here is with that, or like we don't support that as a community. I don't support that myself. I was born and raised here. I'm not for fraud. Like the notion that, hey, a certain batch of Somali got caught, so all of them support it. It's like, no one. If in any community, any mishaps that happen, the rest of the community obviously doesn't want that to happen. It's a stain on all of our names, as you guys can see. We don't want that to happen. We don't take part in that. We don't like that. We don't want that in our communities. But just to say, hey, a certain company got caught, so they must all do it, and I feel like that's what he's doing. I'm not a fan of that.
2 to 10 p.m. may not be your typical daycare hours, so can you explain why it is that you operate during these hours?
The reason for that is we're after school hours. So most of our clients, not most of our clients, all of our clients is after school hours. So schools, earliest dismissal would be 2:15 to 2:30ish, and the latest dismissal would be up to like 4:30ish, 4:40ish. So that's when our kids come to us. We don't have anyone in the morning. We deal with only parents and clients that come to us after school. So that's why ours are 2 to 10 p.m. Just as a side note, if I try to tell you guys, if you try to open in the morning, it's not as advantageous because if the parent has 5 to 6 kids, they're not able to bring most of them because they're going to be at school. They'll bring you an infant, but you'll maybe have 8 to 10 infants. You can't really suffice a business with that.
There was a Zoom call today with the state, with politicians in the House. That said that you closed last week. I'm walking up. So
I discussed that with her. We never closed. There was never a sign on our door. There was never a time where kids were told to stop coming. There was never a time we told our employees to stop coming. All that's false information. Like, where does this come from?
From a Zoom call today with.
No, we were not closed. We were not closed. We didn't tell anyone we were closed. We didn't email by DHS and then be sent back for you to be closed per se. That was never done.
Do you think the commissioner mistook your facility for a different place, or how exactly does the state get that information?
I'd rather not speak for them, but that's completely false information. That's nothing that we, like I said, filled out and submitted to anybody. So where does it come from?
Can we get a tour of the center?
Not right now, only because most daycares, the issue is parents do not allow us to have their children recorded. And it's not just daycares. I know a lot of journalists like to make it a daycare issue. You can't go in schools and record children because we have forms when we're submitting our students. 99% of the time, the parents gonna say, "Hey, I don't want my child on any sort of camera." But for our own sake, when we're taking them to playgrounds and all that, we don't record them because the parents tell you not to. So it's out of the safety of the kids. That's why we specifically ask that the camera's over here and not over there, so the kids are not recorded. And once again, I'd like to conclude, the YouTuber that was making the claims, you were here earlier today. I came here at 1 o'clock. You were here. Where are you now? You claim we're closed. You claim we're a fraud. Where are you? Why are you not here right now? It's like you're trying to put out a certain message about a certain group. I'm not going to make that claim. I don't want to make that claim without me knowing him personally, but that's what it seems like he's doing from his front. Where are you right now? He was here earlier. He was recording us. We had no issue with it. We told him, hey, just get off our property. You can record. Now he's not here.
Could you just confirm how many employees you have and how many students you're serving on an average day?
We have about 25 employees, and children, we're at 92, I believe it is. Our capacity is 99, so we don't really like to touch 90 and above. We're at 92 right now. Our capacity, though, is 99. That capacity is set by the fire marshals, not. Like I said, this is not like something you can just write on a piece of paper. The fire marshal sets the standards for the building size. We didn't get to choose, hey, that 9 children. We didn't get to choose that.
But how many would come in daily? How many kids, roughly?
50 to 80. Depending on the day, depending on the weather, depending on if they play sports. There's a lot of different factors that go into it, but children are here. And like I said, I'll conclude this. You guys come here tomorrow. You guys come here Thursday. You guys can come here Monday. The kids will be here. Just federal holidays, just to be clear, I know there's a lot of rhetoric around federal holidays. Federal holidays are paid days for us. So we're closed on those days. Like New Year's Day, January 1st, we're not going to be here. Just to be clear, it's not because it's fraud. It's not because it's closed. Clients and parents all know alike. We're not open. Christmas Day, we weren't open. It's not because of fraud. It's not because we don't celebrate Christmas based on paid holiday. We're given a certain amount of calendar days throughout the year which we can submit as paid holidays, and it's one of those paid holidays. So, like I said,
confirm for us the $4 million figure. We've been hearing that a lot. Is that
don't know where that came from. I have no idea where that came from.
$4 million.
That's a completely false claim. We don't make that much with the amount of children we have.
How much money are you receiving money from the state, or how does the funding work here for you all?
Yeah, I don't think people understand how that works at all.
The funding works. You're given a certain threshold per child. The younger the child is, the more you get paid. The older they are, the younger they get paid. The less you're paid. So depending on how many children you have is how much you get paid per family. But we don't make those standards. CCAP and the government makes those standards. We don't make those standards. We're not allowed to build a cent more. Like say for example, infant, you get paid a certain rate. You're not gonna get paid a cent more than that once you bill it. So if there's a certain amount we make, that's from the kids we take care of. We feed, we clothe, we pick up, we drop off. That's what we submit to the government, and the government pays us for that. So it's not, none of this is stolen money.
Major update in Nick Shirley's daycare fraud investigation. A daycare in Minnesota claimed it could accommodate 74 children and allegedly collected $126 million in taxpayer funding. But when journalist Nick Shirley showed up, there were no children, no parents, only empty rooms. Nick personally visited multiple taxpayer-funded daycare centers across Minnesota and tried to enroll his own son. Not one accepted him. Staff refused to explain anything. Every question got the same answer. I don't know. One so-called daycare couldn't even spell the word learning, yet it still received millions in public money. Another location mentioned in the investigation reportedly received around $1.9 million in 2025, but investigators found it empty during the site visit. Officials now say arrests have already started, and behind the scenes, some suspects are reportedly cooperating with investigators, trying to reduce charges, trying to cut deals, trying to make this disappear quietly. The anger online is simple. This money was meant to help children, to help working families, to support real childcare. Instead, it allegedly flowed into private pockets. This isn't just fraud, it's damage. Because every dollar stolen by a fake daycare is a dollar a real child never received. What do you think?
Oh my God.
Breaking news, Nick Shirley reveals daycare fraud. A daycare that claims to accommodate 74 children has received $126 million in taxpayer funding. What's shocking is that the daycare hasn't taken in any children at all. However, this money was not used to help any children in need. Reporter Nick Shirley personally visited several daycare centers in Minnesota owned by Somalis and tried to enroll his son. He discovered that these centers were nothing but shell operations. The staff refused to provide any useful information. Some daycare workers couldn't even explain why the facility, which claimed to accommodate 74 children, had no children at all when the reporter asked. Their response was simply, "I don't know." What's even more infuriating is that these daycare centers receive huge taxpayer funding every year. This revelation is both outraging and thought-provoking. Is there a serious flaw in daycare regulation? Why are taxpayer dollars earned through hard work flowing into fake daycare centers like this, while genuinely needy families don't get the support they deserve? What do you think should be done about the fraudulent practices of these nurseries?
That ring. So as you can see, no one here is answering. It's just past 10 a.m. right now. Hello, looking to get some information about childcare. Okay, so as you can see, I just asked about childcare. Is this childcare for children? It's not? Yeah, I just want to make sure this is Tawakkul House. Okay, just wanted to make sure. What's the email address? This is Marine Childcare here at 2918. Okay, how come I can't receive childcare here? Okay, face covering required. I saw this location on the Department of Children, Youth, and Families. I just saw you go in a moment ago, ma'am. Are you unfamiliar with this address right here, 2918, is listed? I don't know. The kid started to answer honestly, and his dad then became a bit panicked and rushed him inside. Hello? I saw you move the blinds. I'm just looking for some information about childcare. Daycare? Looking for information about childcare, please. So the person just moved the blinds over there. There's absolutely someone here. This business is open right now, according to the DCYF website. If you've seen the Nick Shirley story on YouTube about Minnesota, where they've got all those facilities over there, and they're listed as, you know, operating 24/7, 365. So I came down here as a journalist to see if that's in fact what's going on. This Seattle Housing Authority location is listed as having, within a 3 square block area, as having 20 facilities offering childcare at times.
Okay.
And so far, only one of them appears to be legit.
Okay. You have a gun on you? Okay. Well, the issue is that now they're saying that you lifted your shirt in a way to demonstrate that you were armed. You didn't. There was no intention.
No.
Okay, well, don't lie to me. You were there. There was someone back there. There was someone over here. Did you feel fear for your safety? Like what was going on?
No, I didn't feel fear. I didn't feel fearful for my safety. I was just like, hey guys, what are you doing? That's
Okay.
That's what was going on.
And so to that end, did you ever move your shirt to reveal that you're armed? You can tell that the community is upset at large. And so if we just walk away from this, then obviously that's going to have, you know, well-documented after effects.
Again, okay? I have kids sleeping in my room.
So, yeah.
I'm going to DCYF Child Care Center. I'm going. There's licenses for this place. I'm going there to see if you guys have applications for service.
Yeah.
Do you have it right?
Yes, it's a business. You've seen my journalism, so you guys know I'm not a provocateur looking for a fight. I think I probably am gonna just head out of this community right now. I mean, I've got 12 out of 20 places, and out of those places, 11 seem incredibly suspicious. One seems legitimate. Okay, wow, that's crazy. This is absolutely. What?
I want to wait with my son in my house. No.
You want me to come in front of you?
No. Just go, sir. Have a good night.
That's not like a threat or something, is it?
No, it's okay.
Okay, all right. Have a good day. Whoa. Wow. Intense. Seattle Housing Authority District here in Rainier Valley. Here in southeast Seattle. You know, with as many people showing up as there are, and kind of ugly that was starting to feel, I think I'm gonna probably call it good for today. I mean, that's pretty intense. You've got 2917, 2918, Aaliyah and Rihan right around the corner. A lot of people getting angry here, and I think we know why. And then Tawako, Basha, Ilhan, Bright Family Daycare, Honey Home Daycare, Hayla. There's 12 of them that I've been to now that have indicated that they mostly are not operating above board. So I think what I'm going to have to do now is go and get some public records requests done. So what I'm going to do is head out of the area right now, keep my head on a swivel for sure.
You don't have any permission to record me, period.
Can we talk
you
outside?
You don't have permission to record.
She doesn't either have, she doesn't have permission to record me.
You cannot stop people on the street and question them.
We can ask.
You don't have any permission.
Where are the children?
This story keeps getting stranger, and honestly, more disturbing. Independent journalist Nick Shirley has now zeroed in on a Minnesota daycare that reportedly pulled in $2.66 million in CCAP funds, taxpayer money that's supposed to help families pay for childcare. Here's where things fall apart. When Nick walked into the building himself, there were no kids at all. No classrooms in use, no kids playing, no staff caring for anyone. And it gets worse. Records allegedly show 3 different daycare centers, all registered to the exact same address. 3 separate daycares, 1 building, 0 children. So Nick asked the obvious question, the only question that really matters. Where are the kids? According to Nick, the person running the place was asked more than once, given multiple chances, and still couldn't give a